So earlier this week, Six Flags Fiesta Texas officially revealed their planned edition for 2022. Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, a smaller scale B&M dive coaster. Now this is the first B&M coming to the chain since 2012. This is an unexpected but exciting announcement, not only for the fans of Fiesta Texas, but Six Flags chain in general. So let's break down the layout, the theme, and what it means for the chain. Themed with an apocalyptic steampunk machine, this dive coaster will take riders 150 feet into the air before hanging them over the edge and plunging them down beyond a vertical drop. Now 95 degrees is the steepest B&M drop they've done, and it's their first beyond vertical drop in general, and it should really throw riders up out of their seats and into those vest restraints. Now the ride will hit 60 miles an hour before it flips riders into an in moment, followed by a second and final inversion, a 0G roll. Now, after that roll, the trains twist into a mid-course brake run and dive down the second drop, this time at only 75 feet. Now, after the second drop, the riders enter a turnaround, followed by a sharp airtime hill and finally a 360-degree helix. The ride finally hops up into the brakes after about 2,500 feet of track. Now, it certainly isn't a very long ride, but it looks entertaining. The biggest standouts appear to be that beyond vertical drop and the sharp airtime hill. Now, it's pretty clear that this ride seems to be putting more of a focus on airtime and a little less on inversions. Compared to a very similar coaster set to open this year, Emperor at SeaWorld San Diego, this coaster is 3 feet taller, only 90 feet longer, but has one less inversion. Now, it does have the extra drop and airtime moment. It seems that B&M is getting a little more creative on what these small-scale dive coasters will feature. As for the theming itself and the name, they're both pretty good. Now, they will fit nicely in that area of the park that's been receiving some new additions. I got that new flat ride and it's all themed to that steampunk style. The orange, black, and red track colors should look pretty great when freshly painted as well. Now, the only real issue that some people might have is the ride looks like it will feature the vest restraints that some complain take away the airtime of these dive coasters. It does make a difference, but I don't think it's too serious. Now, it is a shame that this isn't going to dive off the quarry wall as well, but overall, it's exciting for the park just to have this addition. Now, the park will get a new supporting coaster for their lineup, which will now feature 2 RMCs, 3 B&Ms, and a launch premier coaster as their top 6. Honestly, I would expect this to fall somewhere in the 3 to 4 spot in the lineup, depending on your preferences of coaster. I really personally enjoy dive coasters, so more so than most inverts and floorless, I think this is going to land around number 3. So I'm excited to get to San Antonio for this, and the 2 RMCs of course. Now, looking back at my What's Next video from last month, I really completely missed on my guesses here. I really doubted that a B&M would come to the park since they haven't worked with Six Flags in such a long time, and I also thought it would be something very unique like an Axis coaster from S&S. However, this is going to be the first B&M dive coaster to come to the chain, and Six Flags reopening this relationship is really awesome for the chain and coaster enthusiasts. We now have the possibility of bringing some of the more exciting models that they bring, like hypers, wings, and dives, to these Six Flags parks that should spark plenty of speculation when Six Flags teases new additions over the next couple seasons. They also bring a little nostalgia back to when Six Flags was bringing in B&M for their big floorless coasters and hypers back in the early 2000s and late 90s. Hopefully, we really get to see an influx of new and exciting B&Ms for Six Flags, and this coaster is an absolute standout ride for Fiesta Texas, but only time will tell. So what about you? Do you think this ride is really worth it, and should they have gone with something else? Let me know below, and make sure to check out the other videos on the channel. Until next week, that's all from the shores of Island Coasters.